Morning, Cowboys Nation. Hey, feeling good on this Monday morning on the way to work. I told y'all I like doing these deals. Did a really cool thing with Law, Vach, Koye, me and Joe doing the podcast tomorrow night. Shout out to my boy Joe the GOAT. All right, Cowboys Huddle. Anyway, wanted to get into some OTA talk. Week 2 of OTAs in the book. Kind of what I'm hearing, kind of what, people are letting me know. Got a few connections. I'm not going to give up my sources because then they wouldn't be connections anymore, right? First of all, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I was running around with the kids. If you guys ever see me in the D.C. area, don't hesitate to speak. Don't hesitate to say what's up, man. We all like the same team. We all rooting for the same team. We all a family. I see a lot of you guys. I've seen a lot of you guys at youth football games. I coached the Bowie Broncos, our 8U. We've been scrimmaging a lot of teams because we're doing spring tackle. So getting the kids ready. We got a nice little mob. I plan on taking this team to Florida. We're also doing a tournament at the end of June. So that'll keep me occupied and help me get through that downtime before training camp really starts. So OTA. Gotta remember what OTAs are: installation, drill work, and you gotta see who's doing what though. Okay, that still is an opportunity for you to make plays. It still is an opportunity for you to play fast, and it's really gonna be for our skilled players. A guy like Tony Pollard, who right now is the darling of every Cowboys fan, he looks fast like that because, there is no tackling. There is no blocking that has to develop for a play. That's not to say that Tony Pollard isn't going to be a great player. We're not going to Ryan Switzer him, though, and get too crazy, all right? And he's my pet cat, but I'm not going to go so crazy and this, that, and the third. I do think that Tony Pollard is going to be used in this offense. I think that Kellen Moore wants to use him. But that's just one example of kind of like when you start to see these things popping up on the internet, this is why. Because OTAs is skeleton work, but you can still see if a guy has juice or not. So I want to get to 3 standouts today, all right, and who've kind of been buzzing around the building and around the facility. It's going to be Michael Gallup. All right, what Michael Gallup is able to do. Daniel Ross, got to think about him. And then let's talk about Kellen Moore, okay? Because I think that that's starting to be a real possibility of us having a stellar offense and what he wants to do. So let's talk about Michael Gallup real quick. From all accounts, I'm hearing that Michael Gallup is having a great offseason. What he's been able to learn from Amari Cooper, not only from last year, but transitioning this year. So he gets an Amari Cooper in. He gets a high-level athlete in who knows how to run routes, who knows how to set people up. Just being in practice with him every day, Michael Gallup has the upper hand. You saw games last year where Michael Gallup was kind of close. Him and Dak kind of couldn't get quite on the same page. But then as the year went on, plays started to happen. I think that Michael Gallup could be primed for a breakout Juju Smith-Schuster type year, just because of the concentration and the care that teams are gonna give Amari Cooper. They're gonna double Amari Cooper. They're gonna double Amari Cooper. Gonna stack the box, so somebody has to win backside. And I think that Michael Gallup is good enough, and we see him do it. He wasn't consistent doing it, but we've seen him beat. Michael Gallup is good enough to beat a second-tier corner or a team's second corner. He better be, all right? And I think that not only is he going to be good enough to be that, and you've seen it in the OTA work, and I'm hearing that they're designing plays for Gallup because they know what's going to happen with Amari Cooper. Now, Amari Cooper's going to get his touches. He's going to get his looks. But so is Gallup. And this is what I was talking about. There's not enough balls. There's not enough touches to go around. for a guy like a Tavon Austin if he's not healthy, if he's kind of just lagging through OTAs. If I got a guy like Pollard or somebody else or John V. Johnson or whoever who can steal those reps and kind of give me what I would think I was getting out of Tavon Austin, then why would I keep Tavon Austin? So that's how you have to think. And that's how the Cowboys are going to think as well. So Michael Gallup having a great offseason, him and Dak on fire. And I just believe that's just going to elevate this team, and because now you just got to play it straight. And if you playing it straight with Amari Cooper, you done. I mean, he's that type of a player. He's that type of athlete. And that's what you want. You want to make defenses and teams play left-handed, okay? You don't want them to dictate what they want to do to you. You want to dictate the tempo. You want to dictate the game plan and how they have to play. Now you got to keep both safeties up top. All right, and then we just gas you in the run game, okay? Now, now you can't shade that safety over to Amari Cooper, because if you do, your second corner can't guard. Like Quentin Dunbar shouldn't be able to guard Michael Gallup this year. He shouldn't. Mike has to take that jump as a second-year player, and I think he will. Daniel Ross. So, with all of the defensive line injuries and this and that and no Randy Gregory, I'm hearing that Daniel Ross is really doing some nice things. Now, this is one of those positions, though, that we won't know anything until the pads come on. Like, with all of this, we won't know anything until the pads come on. But just to hear that Daniel Ross, quick getting off the ball, good feet, violent hands, feet aren't in mud. That's why I tell my kids all the time, man, get your feet up and get going. That end position, man, is going to be tricky. You don't know if you're going to lose Tyrone Crawford. You don't know how Tank Lawrence is going to come back from injury. You don't know what Taco Charlton's going to give you. So it's good to hear that Ross is doing well. And then the last thing is Kellen Moore. So the Kellen Moore experiment is now officially underway. So what are we to expect, Cowboys fans? Well, from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, because I searched the internet just like the rest of you guys, and we're all fans and we're just all trying to get information. I'm hearing there's going to be a lot of misdirection. All right? I'm hearing that the offense may, even me and Vox were talking about this, it may look the same. It may be the same play, just ran out of a different set. Little things like that. I remember I was at this coach's clinic, and it was like, he was talking about the wing T offense, and he was like, you're not going to take belly from me, and you're not going to take my sweep. You're not going to take my jet sweep or my buck sweep from me. I'll just run it out of something different. I'll call it something different. I'll disguise it to be something different. And maybe, Scott Linehan had gotten so stale, he had forgotten to even do things like that. Maybe Kellen Moore with a fresh mind. Now, let's not forget, that is one of Scott's proteges. But maybe a Kellen Moore with a fresh mind will come in and do things like that. Maybe he'll line Zeke up in a different formation. Maybe he'll do some different things with the receivers and stack an Amari Cooper in the slot. They start trying to jump. Amari Cooper can play out of the slot well. All right, he scored a touchdown in the slot, I believe, against the Rams. So maybe he'll do some different things like that to keep defenses and teams off balance. All right, you want to do that? Let's motion Amari Cooper in the slot. Oh, okay, this corner followed. Okay, they're in man. Boom. You see what I'm saying? Different things like that. Different ways to attack a team instead of, okay, 12 personnel, we're going to run and bang our head again with Zeke over and over and over again. Because, teams, we got to understand, Cowboys fans, there are defensive coordinators right now in the division, outside division, right now game planning to beat the Cowboys. Good ones are. Right now. Oh, I got to do it. To beat Dallas, because they know what type of team we're going to be. That's what these guys come into the office. If they're a good coordinator, they're coming to the office every week. This is what we need to do. This is the personnel. If you're evaluating your team, you also got to evaluate your coaches. Sometimes you got to coach your coaches. And A good D coordinator is already thinking of ways, how do we stop this team? I want to run this coverage. I want to run a 4-2-5. I want to play force. So all of those different things are what a defensive coordinators for the Giants, number one for the Redskins, they've already drafted to beat the Cowboys. Look at the defensive line help that the Redskins have gotten. You know, those Bama boys got Montez Sweat. Look at what the Giants are trying to do defensively. Got the linebacker. Got the defense end and got the linebacker last year, Lorenzo Carter. Look at the Eagles' defensive line. So they are trying to stop Ezekiel Elliott. We have to counter that and get them to play left-handed, all right? So these are just a couple notes from OTAs. The last session, I believe, starts today or either today or tomorrow. And then take a break, the mini camp, and then the break, the real break, which scares the heck out of me because if Zeke's going to go to Las Vegas, I need to be there to keep him sharp. All right, Cowboys fans, it's your boy Foots the King. I just want to talk to y'all, man, all right? It's the dead season. It's OTA work. It's nothing really crazy going on. But nonetheless, things are happening. Installment. Players are getting installed. Players are learning how to practice. You got to, every single year, you got to evaluate your team. You got to reteach things. You know, they said John Wooden used to reteach his kids every year how to tie their shoes. Just the details, all right? And that's what a good team does. A good team, you don't pick up from what you did last year. You get back to doing the basics. All right, you get back to learning how to run a route. You get back to getting your feet hot, Dak, in the pocket. All right, hot feet, quick, active feet. All right, Cowboys fans, it's your boy Foots the King. I just want to talk to y'all, man. Much love. Peace.